what's good, y'all? Listen, I want to talk real quick about this show I just got through watching, Outsider. Came on HBO earlier this year. It's based off of a novel by the same name, written by one of the greats, y'all, Stephen King, y'all. Okay, this not gonna be long. I just wanted to talk, more about how I felt about it and just basically how I liked it. Let me say, I freaking enjoyed it. I really did. I really did enjoy it. It held my attention. It was just a very, well written, produced, directed as TV cop drama with a little bit of sprinkle of that good old horror and supernaturalness that we all love Stephen King for. The monster. Now the monster, well, I was reading up on, and then I was noticing, it's kind of like he almost kind of reminds me of Pennywise somewhat, Pennywise, he eats the kids because they just taste sweeter. And he tends to feed off of the pain and sorrow. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with what's going on in that town. Whereas El Cuco, he eats the kids too. But he also stays around and lingers. And so whatever people that is connected to the death of the child, he feeds off of the sorrow. Because there's always some, messed up stuff that happens later. And he just feeds off of that. That's what sustains him. That's his good liquor. Now, the whole story, like, we deal with skeptics, especially with one of the main characters, a detective who him and his wife lost their only child. So he's dealing with grief of that nature. We have Holly Gibney, played by Cynthia Erivo. I liked it, Holly, in this one. Now, they had another series. I remember it coming on DirecTV's own personal original programming channel. It was the show was named Mr. Mercedes, and they had Holly Gibney too there. But the main difference was that Holly on that Mr. Mercedes was white and this one was black. Now, I haven't watched that series, the Mr. Mercedes. I read the first 2 books. I enjoyed the books. I haven't watched the series. I've been trying my best to try to find it and get it, because I really do want to watch it. This Holly, which I don't know if they portrayed that in the show, in the Mr. Mercedes show, homegirl, she, she's on the spectrum. She has OCD. She's also special. I would call homegirl a walking internet, because she retains so much information. Whatever she reads and all that stuff like that, she just retains it. And she could pull it off. Pull it out right there at the drop of a hat, bruh. So she has that. And the one thing about her that's kind of endearing to me about this Holly character is she has this wild-eyed innocence about her. And it's almost to the point to almost being childlike. You get me? And so with her dealing with that she has OCD, that she is the spectrum, and she also has this gift, it made it seem like, she's kind of like an outsider herself. She's strange. She's different. You get me? And what I feel about this show is I think, to me, it has something to do with faith. And do you have it? Do you believe in it? And also able to Look past of what you can see and recognize, and also remember, also know, and also accept. Guess what? There's something that you ain't gonna be able to explain, and it exists, and which is El Cuco. Now, Holly, she wholeheartedly believes. Listen, in her gut and her soul, she knows there's other stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? Now with her, she knows God. She loves God. And like with her, it's like, if I know God exists and all that stuff, how the hell I could not think that other things don't exist? Excuse me, y'all. I'm hiccuping, y'all. I'm hiccuping. Excuse me. That's with her. And then the thing about it with the lead detective, who's, I don't want to mess up his name, y'all. I forgot his name just that quick. But with him, he don't believe in, boogeyman. He don't believe. I think he don't even believe in God. It just like, it ain't in him. But as we see further along throughout this season, he believes. He has opened his eyes to the unimaginable, to the unbelievable. Guess what? The boogeyman exists. You know all them stories that Big Mama or elderly and all that stuff, they taught you, you better get some act right or the boogeyman gonna get you. Or things of that nature. Guess what? Homeboy real. And it's always had to think of it like this. I always was like, like certain monsters, even the monsters that we talk, werewolves, vampires, things of that nature. I always believed that they did form from some form of truth. It's always some truth behind them kind of fairy tales. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Now, I hated that Hollis Tenderoni, homeboy, I hated that he died, because they just matched. They did. They was like two dorks and everything, and I just loved them, and I hated that he died, because they would have been a cute couple. With El Cuco, he has a helper, and his helper is a dude off the police force. Listen, homeboy been catching it, like, he just had a rough piece of luck. And well, for what I think that's how El Cuco picks his helpers. Because you have to think about it. Yeah, El Cuco, he's this monster and all that stuff. But he has limitations, y'all. This show, basically, it's the most realist show I could ever see that deals with, current, real life, and even if it got hit by the supernatural. So, El Cuco ain't like them typical ass monsters that you see on movies or TV shows. Like, they do a little something, boop, shit start to shake. It's a process with El Cuco. It takes him, you could basically say like a full cycle, a full moon cycle. You know what I'm saying? For him to change and all that stuff. And while I would think is at his weakest, he needs somebody out in the field and everything to get stuff for him, to take care of certain shit. And that's where this cop comes in. And with him, the cop and everything, I feel sort of bad for him and all that stuff. It was messed up. It was messed up with him. Now, I'm trying to think. The whole thing starts off with Jason Bateman, his character, Terry Matlin. He got framed. He got caught up. And if you ain't know no better, you would think that he was a child murderer. But guess what? It wasn't. He got shot up by El Cuco. Now, he had to deal with the fact that, cops are trying to figure out, how is this man in two places at once? What the hell going on? So when they see that, they had to call in somebody, and that's how Miss Holly came in. Miss Holly, she's a private investigator. She got these skills and all that stuff, and she's ready to take the case. And as we see with the murder of the child in the beginning of this season, and you start to see how the accused, the framed, his family, everything deteriorates around them. That sorrow, that sadness, that's what El Cuco, that's what he feeds on. And you see that avalanche of fuck shit that just happened, and he just bask in it. That's his drug. Now, you see, like, it hits everybody. It's almost like a virus. When El Cuco comes in and he touches somebody and his sickness spreads like a virus. And he feeds off of it, like I said before, and just move on. Now, through all of this and through where you're seeing, like, something just ain't right. This is strange as the hell. With Homeboy, with the detective, he's like, no, listen, I believe in stuff I can see. I believe in stuff I can understand. You know, give me a serial killer or a burglar and all that stuff. I don't need all this other mess and all. And you get to see throughout this first season how, listen, he's stubborn as hell. He ain't want to believe what was what. But, bruh. When you start to see stuff pop off, you're going to have to believe it. Now, at the end, toward the end of the season, we see what happened like some years back. And basically, it's almost like the town was already marked. And I tend to think that's what El Cuco does. Wherever he goes, whatever town he's in, when he does what he does and bring all that chaos, I honestly believe that he leaves a mark on that town. And that town, it really doesn't truly recover. That's what I wholeheartedly think. And you see with what happened with them caves and all that stuff. And all of that. Now, here's one thing that when they have the shootout, and Jack, which was El Cuco's, his helper, he was sniping off people, and he dies. And when Holly and the detective goes in, and they finally confront El Cuco. And I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I know I am. I have that feeling in my gut that I'm pronouncing his name wrong. But please forgive me. When Holly's like, I'm finna ask some questions. Now, like, that's right, Holly. Ask some questions, girl. She was like, why kids? And his answer, I ain't gonna lie. His answer was similar to Pennywise. And I was like, you Pennywise cousin or something, brother or something? And he says something, if I remember right, he says something about shine. They shine, they glow or something like that. And I'm like, so this is really connected. So it's connected to the other books and stuff like that. It was just simple stuff. Now we all know he basically said he been at it for a minute. And, there are also more out there. So there's more El Cucos, more like him, or just more creatures. Now, as we all know, if you read Stephen King, or if you're at least familiar with him, you know that there's monsters in the Stephen King universe. So, I'm thinking with, that being stated, I wonder how season 2 gonna run. The detective kill him. And, and basically, I'm thinking this is like the first time the detective was able really just to see this creature face to face. And you see all the faces that the monster had took. And, Homeboy, the detective, like, listen, I'm finna kill your ass We ain't finna call no police. We ain't finna let people come here because they gonna take you. They gonna use you as a sideshow. Or either worse, the government's gonna get you. Dissect you. Try to see how you work. And what makes you tick. Probably be worse than hell for the monster. So I guess in some kind of way you might call it a mercy killing, if you will. Now, kills them, boom, and they all try to get their story together. And at the end, Terry Matlin, his name get cleared, but we all know the damage is done. Now, when Holly leaves, and she like, good to know that, the detective, good to know that you, open your eyes, or you was able to, believe. And, homeboy, like, we ought to team up again, make a good team, which they do. At the end, right, when she's on her computer and she's, looking up stuff, her hand did the backwards thing in her. And then I noticed that she got scratched, y'all. And I was like, that El Cuco, what done happened? Did some part of him transfer to her? I was like, okay, so we gonna talk about this next season, right? We're gonna elaborate on this, try to figure out what's what. Now, I also thought that being that she is special, and I ain't talking about, her being on the spectrum or anything, or nothing like that, about her certain gift. What y'all call her, she is the damn walking internet. With her being exposed to El Cuco and all that stuff, would that unlock more out of her? I'm kind of thinking that she got the shining. I might be wrong. Or she got some aspect of it. I'm just saying, because I was like, girl, why is your hair in your hand doing all that, girl? So, I don't know, but I enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do for season 2. How they're going to do season 2. Or things like that. Come through, Stephen King. Come the hell through. This is one I really enjoyed. This Stephen King adapted works. Like his works be hit and miss. We all know Castle Rock is the shit. Freaking love it. I'm gonna do some reviews on them. Now that last adaptation they tried to pull, I think it was on Spike TV or whatever, The Mist. Pure D fucking trash. Pure D trash. How dare y'all? How dare y'all do that to that fine piece of work? I'm just gonna say, The Mist, the movie, is one of the best Stephen King adapted movies ever. Y'all could have did so much with the series based off of that. And I'm gonna tell you what was the main bitch made part about it. Why it was crap. It was pretty trash. Was not a lick of monsters in that motherfucking show. We wanted to see them monsters that they had up in the movie. We want to see more of them monsters. I wanted to see them Lovecraftian ass type of monsters. Did you see that big old tall behemoth in the movie? We wanted to see some of them. But I'm going to stop because I will rant and bitch and gripe and moan about that darn show. But anywho, The Outsider, it was good. It was good. I loved it. It was good. I know I didn't go blah, blah, blah. I ain't want to. I didn't want to. I just want to talk a little bit about it, and I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what else coming up. Stephen King, what other works you got? Slang it out there. I know y'all redoing The Stand. So I can't wait. Hopefully that come out this year. So I don't know. Due to the coronas, I really don't know. But regardless of that, I enjoyed it. If y'all have been having like second thoughts about it or y'all don't know, woo, go watch it. It's good. It really is. Okay? Alright. Holla.